ค I did, and I Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If I could have everyone's attention, please take your seats. Our program will begin shortly. So please take your seats. The ceremony will start in a couple of minutes. Thank you.
Good evening. Please join us in singing the national anthem. Good evening. Please be seated. Welcome to the Kent State University at Ashtabula 2017 Commencement Ceremony. I would like to introduce the members of our platform party. Dr. Bradley Kiefer, the chair of our faculty council. Kevin Deemer, our Assistant Dean, Meg May, representing the Kent State Alumni Association, and Dr. Mel May, our commencement speaker this evening. It's been a little tense this week with the weather. I'm glad you were all able to get here tonight to join us. We just peeked out the window on our way in and the snow has stopped. So we'll hope it stays until we can all get home safely tonight. Thank you all for being here. We have a number of exciting things happening at the Ashtabula campus. We were honored to receive the Growth Partnership Best of the County Award for Business Growth and Innovation. And speaking of innovation, we have partnered with Lorello Vineyards so that students in our viticulture and enology programs can learn the process of winemaking from start to finish. Kent State Ashtabula continues to provide a quality education at an affordable price. And thanks to the support we received from the community, we were able to award almost $300,000 in scholarships to over 200 students this fall. Tonight, 2 students will be the first to graduate with a bachelor's degree in respiratory care. One is in attendance tonight, so I'd like to ask Courtney Labig to stand. And I'd like to ask Program Director Yvonne George, Faculty Member Megan Alicia, and Clinical Coordinator Amy Rodenhausen, thank them for their leadership in developing this new online program. Two students receiving the associate degree in respiratory therapy were inducted into the Lambda Beta Society, the National Honor Society for Respiratory Therapy. I'd like to ask Lindsay Wheeler and Reed Zawacki to stand so we can recognize this accomplishment. And 2 of the students receiving the Associate of Applied Science in Nursing degree were inducted into the Alpha Delta Nu, the National Honor Society for Associate Degree Nursing. They are Sarah Yeary and Trista Harris. Sarah and Trista, please stand. I know we also have at least one member of our graduating class who was inducted into the Golden Key Society. Any of the students who are graduating who were inducted into the Golden Key Society, please stand so we can recognize you. All right. That's David Stouffer. David. And now I would like to take this opportunity to recognize two members of our Kent State Ashtabula staff who are leaving us. Bethany Tackett, Bethany, you want to stand? Bethany is leaving to follow her heart to become a full-time foster mom. Bethany started here as a student in the fall of 2000. She was then hired as a library associate in January of 2003. Bethany has always been like a little ray of sunshine in the library, always positive and helpful. Bethany, you're going to be missed, but we wish you and Chris all the best. And we've learned that Jody Nieves, Jody, is leaving us as well and will be relocating to Kentucky with her family. Jody has worked with us for 16 years as an account clerk in our business office. Jody has managed several projects on campus, and she's always been very dedicated and hardworking. We will miss you, but we wish you and David and the girls all the best. Thanks, Jody. Now, let me turn and honor those we're here to celebrate tonight, our graduates. Let me be the first to congratulate you on this major milestone. I know tonight has not come without sacrifice. Many of you have worked either part-time or full-time while completing your degrees. Many of you have been raising families or caregivers for family members, taking classes part-time, full-time, and it's been a big sacrifice. But in spite of those competing demands, I recognize many of you as tutors or student ambassadors, student workers, and members of the Dean's List. So congratulations to all of you. The graduates know that they didn't get to this point alone. They've been supported by their family members. So if you are a parent, a spouse, a child, or a significant other of one of our graduates, please stand so we can recognize you. As our graduates processed in tonight, you may have noticed some of them wearing red, white, and blue cords. Those are our student veterans. I'd like to ask them to stand now so we can recognize their service to our country. Now, I would like to recognize the leadership, financial assistance, and support provided by the Ashtabula Area College Committee, our campus advisory board. The members of the committee are listed in your program. I would like to ask Ryan Richards, the president of the Ashtabula Area College Committee, to come forward now to present the awards given by the college committee.
Good evening. The Academic Achievement Awards are granted to students who meet the following criteria: completion of at least 60 hours of credit, at least 45 hours taken at the Ashtabula campus, and a grade point average of 3.70 or better as of the prior grading period. These are the scholars, and scholars, as I read your name, please stand. Cassidy DeFranco. Logan Leichman. Noemi Maldonado. Melanie Pattison. Cassandra Serdula. David Stouffer. And Tracy Voracek. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in congratulating these scholars.
Thank you, Ryan. At this time, I'd like to introduce our student speaker, Jordan Rimpola. Jordan is graduating tonight with a Bachelor of Arts in English. Jordan has been actively engaged as a student on the campus and was fortunate enough to travel with 5 other Ashtabula students for a semester abroad in Germany. When I asked the faculty to describe Jordan, they described him as likable, honest, and always willing to help his peers. Please welcome Jordan Rimpola to the podium.
Terribly sorry, here it is. Thank you, Dean Stocker. Good evening, faculty, family, friends, fellow graduates. We did it! Whoa. Got a little excited. What a great night this is, and what an honor it is to be tonight's student commencement speaker. You know, years ago, a professor on this very campus, Dr. David Perusek, once said during a lecture that there is no such thing as a self-made person. I thought this to be profound, so I continued listening to him explain that the core of his conviction was essentially, we all get a helping hand or a nudge from someone or something at some point along our journey through life. An opportunity, if you will. Seemingly all at once, the classic Beatles hit "With a Little Help from My Friends" started playing in my head, which led to my brain considering the hit TV show The Wonder Years, which then led to me remembering the proverb, "It takes a village to raise a child." With the right opportunities, the possibilities are endless. It is how we ended up on this stage tonight. In my case, it absolutely took a village. I mentioned the song in the hopes that it plays in your head during my speech, and I feel that the title of The Wonder Years and the seemingly endless opportunities presented within perfectly captures the zeitgeist, the essence of my time here at Kent State University at Ashtabula. I may very well be the only one on stage tonight who has taken a decade to complete their bachelor's, so in a way it does feel like a coming-of-age story, much like Kevin Arnold in The Wonder Years. My first semester, though, it feels like yesterday. There I was, 25, enrolled in a remedial math along with college writing 1, and all I could think about was wanting to go into meteorology. 2 themes became abundantly clear rather quickly that semester. I was wholly deflated to learn that meteorology is more about math than just being blown about during a hurricane on live TV, and that English, which I fretted the most, became my life's passion, thanks to the late Professor Roger Smith. He saw in me what I could not, opportunity and possibility. When he asked me what one of my goals in life was, I told him rather bluntly that I wanted to sound smart, which in retrospect is a silly thing to say. He thought so too, but then he told me that he felt I already sounded smart. His thoughtful words, his kind heart, and his inexhaustible encouragement led to me becoming an English major, and I never looked back. I am here tonight because of him, and I only wish he were here to tell that to. Though I have no doubt he is somewhere discussing the merits of Flannery O'Connor over coffee with a captive audience. Lord help him. The opportunity in which he gave me a chance to thrive led to me getting many other opportunities during my collegiate career. I got to spend a semester in Germany, teach English as a second language at the Kent campus, Take a year-long internship in Germany introducing kindergartners to a new language. Debate whether Chaucer died of natural causes with Dr. Bice. I think he did. Debate whether pregnant is an absolute adjective with Professor Zingaro. And make lifelong friends. All because of him. Thank you, Roger. But I am not the only one on stage tonight who has accomplished so much. Though I can say with a reasonable degree of certainty that some on this stage with me may consider it a wonder we made it through many of our classes. That is not to say that the classes were bad, but rather we have all spent countless hours studying subjects we probably never thought we'd be able to wrap our minds around. Countless hours reading 900-page books dealing with judicial malaise present in 19th century London. Countless hours fretting being called upon to answer life's great questions via a wheel of doom in Professor Driscoll's class, 7 Ideas That Shook the Universe. Top tip, future graduates, the answer is always 42. And countless hours dealing with life as it happens around us. Mercifully, though, we all had guidance. Guidance in the form of nurturing teachers, mentors, counselors, advisors, instructors, lecturers, professors, doctors, assistant deans, and deans. Textbooks, novels, and yes, even the cadavers in the Health and Science building would be nothing without their invaluable direction. There is an adage I have often heard my professor say. We do not give you a grade, you earn a grade. And that really is the crux of opportunity. Opportunity is a cooperative relationship between teacher and student. It is not a free pass, but it is a challenge that must be worked on ardently. We here on stage tonight have seized upon the opportunities presented to us by faculties, opportunities that we now have the power to pass on to others. When my Aunt Judy was graduating from Kent State University at Ashtabula, she too was nominated to deliver the commencement speech. I was much younger then, but I remember her saying that now it was time for her and her fellow graduates to kick off their shoes and relax. Well, in all of my life, I have never once witnessed her relaxing. She is constantly working tirelessly with children, seeing potential in them and giving them opportunities to succeed. She is truly an unstoppable force. Opportunity is the gift that keeps on giving. It challenges us. It makes us better people, and we must not waste that. Let it be known, fellow graduates, what we have accomplished and are being awarded for tonight is a momentous occasion, not only in our lives, but in the lives of those who have supported us along the way. We did better than getting by with help from them. And now it is our turn to give someone else that opportunity. It takes a village, after all. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. It's now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Dr. Mel Anthony May. Dr. May is no stranger to this podium, as he previously served as our assistant dean on the Ashtabula campus. Most recently, Dr. May served as the dean of student affairs at the eastern campus of Cuyahoga Community College. Recently retired, Dr. May is now using his experience and expertise to serve as a consultant in higher education. Dr. May lives in Newberry with his wife, Meg, where they are both actively engaged in the community. Please help me in giving Dr. May a warm welcome back to the Ashtabula campus.
There's lots of stuff going on up here. Hang on. Jordan, I want you to know it took me 11 years to get my bachelor's degree. You're not alone. Thank you, Dean Stocker, members of the College Committee, honored guests, and members of the Platform Party, and our graduates. It is wonderful to be back at the Ashtabula campus. I particularly appreciate you breaking out the snow just to remind me of the full experience of Ashtabula County. It made it for a wonderful drive here. Thank you also to the many members of the Ashtabula campus, the staff members, whose hard work makes this ceremony possible. There's lots of folks behind the scenes making sure this all happens, and you will never see most of them. And I'd also like to give a special thank you to probably the hardest working group in the Kent State University system, the Ashtabula campus plant ops people who kept the walks shoveled, the parking lots cleared, and this campus open today. Thank you, folks. Congratulations, graduates. We're gathered here to celebrate your accomplishments. The time, the effort, the treasure you put into getting an education speak much to your character, your drive, and most importantly, your hopes for the future. Congratulations also to the families and the loved ones who came with you on this journey, because no one makes that journey successfully alone. Thank you to my faculty colleagues. Thank you for helping these students get all of your effort to get them to the finish line tonight. I know it's appreciated. Late in his life, Thomas Jefferson said of meeting his first teacher, Dr. William Small, quote, "It fixed the destinies of my life," unquote. Pretty high praise from Thomas Jefferson. And so it has ever been with great teaching. It changes lives, and it is never forgotten. Over the course of a 31-year career in higher education, I have attended more commencement ceremonies than I care to count or remember. I was a student, as a member of a platform committee, calling names for 12 years at the Kent campus, and as the person who was responsible for college-wide commencement at Tri-C. But this is the first, and probably the only, time I will be at commencement as a speaker. I am flattered beyond all words by this invitation, Dean Stocker. I am touched, and that it should be at the Ashtabula campus where I spent 4 of the best years of a 31-year career means the most to me. I should tell you that when Dean Stocker invited me to speak, I reminded her that I was a history major, and I could probably still do a 75-minute lecture on the 14th century Flanders wool trade and the mechanical advantages of an overshot water wheel versus an undershot water wheel in the wool felting process. Yeah. She immediately regretted inviting me. I can assume that none of you, with the possible exception of Dr. Kiefer, is disappointed that I'm skipping that topic tonight. As an academic, I did some research preparing for writing a commencement address, and I learned that there are 3 rules for doing so. But no one can agree on what those 3 rules are. So you're getting my best shot tonight. In all honesty, of the hundreds of commencement speakers I have heard, I only remember 2. Joe Walsh, when he spoke at Kent State, and Terry Stewart, the CEO of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, when he spoke at Tri-C. So apparently, the only thing that gets through my commencement filters is rock and roll stories. I should also point out that while I was rehearsing this speech to my long-suffering wife, she pointed out that I'd heard her commencement speech at Kent State when she was valedictorian, and she apologized profusely for not being memorable to me. Despite that little faux pas, she agreed to accompany me here this evening. I hope that some of what I say you will remember, but you are forgiven in advance if in the years that follow, I too am indistinct in your memories. The strangest thing about tonight of all was my regalia, because I never thought I would wear this again. And so I went to the dry cleaner and I had them pack it away, like they do with wedding gowns. I stored it. My plan was, I'm not making this up, the plan was to have Meg bury me in it. Because I paid a lot of money for it, and I really wanted to get my eternal money's worth out of it. And I figured it would be the only time I could wear it and not be uncomfortable. And really don't have a plan now going forward with it. One of the things that they don't prepare you for when you're getting a doctoral degree listen up because you don't know what the future holds. They never tell you how ridiculously hard it is and how expensive it is to order this regalia. I had to call a small company in Salem, Virginia to place my order, and the woman I was working with was wonderful, but she had this extraordinarily thick Southern accent. And we were doing okay until we got to the tam, the silly hat. And she asked me if I wanted a 4-sided tam, a 6-sided tam, or an 8-sided tam. I was stumped. And then she paused in her heavy Southern accent. She said, "Dr. May, I need to ask you a very personal question, and I truly mean no disrespect." I said, "Uh-huh." She said, "Honey, what shape is your head?" I said, "Oh, I've got a round snowman pumpkin head." She said, "Oh, you want an 8-sided tam then. So apparently this is slimming." What, it's not? Oh. I'd like to share with you tonight, in the manner that's required of commencement speakers, a few simple lessons that I learned on my journey. It's been said that at your birth, you cry and the world rejoices, and that you should live a life so that when you die, you rejoice and the world cries. And all of us, as we go through with that goal, try to come up with some lessons that help us live that kind of life, and these are mine. Lesson 1, open your eyes. I learned this lesson very recently from one of the finest people I have ever known, Dr. John Marr. John is amazingly present in the world. He notices things, and his kindness is matched only by his intelligence. John and I both recently retired from Cuyahoga Community College, and we've been doing consulting work together. And one of our clients requires us to make regular trips to Chicago. Now, I grew up in a small town, so when I'm on a street in a big city, I'm a little uneasy, and I'm not making eye contact with anybody. That also means that I also don't notice the less fortunate who often occupy the streets of big cities like Chicago. Not John. John sees those people, really sees them. John, I discovered, keeps small bills in his pocket when we would go out on the streets to walk to dinner. And every time he saw someone who appeared to be in need, he'd give them a few dollars, he'd shake their hand, he'd offer them a smile, a quick blessing, and just a little simple human dignity. John never said a word about these acts of kindness, not once. He didn't need to, really. His example really spoke for him, and I found myself quietly emulating my friend. The world is often an uncertain place, but no act of kindness is ever wasted. If you need another reason to open your eyes to the world and those around you, here it is. We are all one. In every job interview I've been in, there's always a question about what's your experience with diverse populations? And for years I had a very stock response that gave my experience working with these groups. Late in my career, I came up with a more, what I thought, an insightful response. You see, 99.99% of all human DNA is identical. It's what makes us a species. The tiny differences in that 0.01% DNA are inconsequential in the long run. In the most literal and fundamental sense, we are all family. I respect you not because you're different, because in the most fundamental ways, we're the same. Strive to see the similarities in others. Think of the things you share with others and build upon those things. Lesson 2, open your heart. When I was in 3rd grade, my parents went bankrupt, and they lost the small store they ran on the west side of Cleveland. We lived above the store, so we lost our home at the same time. For a year, the 4 of us lived in a room in my parents' and my grandfather's attic until my parents got back on their feet. As you might expect after such an experience, I grew up with what today would be called an unhealthy relationship with money, which is to say I was terrified of not having any again. I grew up and managed to hide it from most people, but it was never far from my thoughts. Finally, in my late 30s, I heard a financial guru on PBS, of all places, saying, if you really want to have financial freedom, you have to give money away. You have to show that you can freely give it away and it has no power over you. If you can do that, there'll be no fear. My first response was, yeah, right. My second response was to make a small donation to an organization that I'm passionate about. And it turned out she was right. Fear didn't go away overnight, but eventually, after a number of donations and a number of years, it mostly left. But more important than that, I discovered that when I opened my wallet a little, I opened my heart as well. I discovered great joy came from giving to those who need, and that I could help. So I suggest you find something that you are passionate about, that is close to your heart, and give a little of yourself to it. It can be cash, it can be donated goods, it can be time, it can be any of those things. Open your heart to those in need, and you're going to discover that your heart is not diminished in that act, it grows. I should mention that there are many organizations who are trying to change the world, who would welcome your open heart with open hands. I would be remiss if I did not mention that Kent State Ashtabula is one of those organizations that would welcome your help. Or the Arts Center, or the Animal Shelter, or your church. You're not going to have to look very hard to find people in need and people that you can help in a small way. Lesson 3, open your mind. You got a great education at Kent State University. That education is going to open doors and give you opportunities that you didn't have when you walked in this campus door. But with that comes obligations. Robert Kennedy said to his children, "To you much has been given, and then, so therefore from you much is expected." As you went through your education, your mind stretched to hold new thoughts, new ideas. Jordan made a good point for that. The things that you wouldn't have thought of walking in the door that would become important to you. The trick now is to keep learning, keep your mind open. Don't let it shrink back to its original size. And I know that can be painful, but you have to do it. It's really easy in the current world to limit who you talk to, the sources of information you see. You can tailor your news feed, your reading, to people who look like you, think like you, and talk like you. I discovered that there is an entire cable channel dedicated to fly fishing. If you wanted to, you could limit your entire your entire entertainment experience to fly fishing. That's how specialized the world can be. It's too easy to set limits mentally and physically. Don't do it. Take the benefits of the Kent State education that you received. Go out into the larger world. The world's going to contain people and ideas that you're not going to agree with. But here's the good news. Your Kent State education has equipped you to evaluate information, to question respectfully, and to formulate well-rounded viewpoints on subjects around you. Please, practice those skills, strengthen them, use them often. The world needs you to be an engaged, active, and informed citizen. Lesson 3, and here's the good news, we're coming to the end. Lesson 3, be like a kitten. See, it's getting deep, isn't it? Both of my parents have very serious health problems and are entirely housebound. So given their physical limitations, anything outside of their experience really stresses them. So you can imagine the kerfuffle when, in June, a stray cat had 5 kittens outside their house. Because they knew they couldn't care for them. They knew they couldn't get out there. The oxygen hoses aren't long enough. So they did what you always do. They called me. Meg and I went out and we bought live traps, and we trapped Mama Kitty and her 5 kittens. And we had this real simple plan. I mean, it was perfect, man. We got the 5 cats, the 5 kittens, and Mama. We were going to quickly socialize the kittens and find them homes. We scheduled Mama to be spayed the next day, and we figured, yeah, a couple weeks, life will be back to normal. That plan lasted until the very next day when I was driving Mama Kitty to be spayed and she gave birth to 5 more kittens in the back of my car. She's remarkably fertile, apparently. Hence her name, Mama Kitty. So the simple plan kind of went out the window. But I learned 2 really important things that day. First, well, the precursors, obviously I can't tell if a cat's pregnant. That's a given. The next thing I learned was you need to really keep problems in perspective. Because as I was sitting on the side of the road wondering how I was going to tell my wife we had 5 more kittens and no place to put them, I had an epiphany. Maybe it was an apostrophe. I can't tell the difference most mornings. But here's the thing. On the scale of life problems, if you get to pick, 10 kittens isn't the worst thing that can happen to you. Because I figured that there were people who got up that morning and found out that they had cancer or that their child was sick. You know me, I got 10 kittens. I wasn't going to complain. Second, you really need to find the good in every situation. And these kittens taught me that. They'd been living outside for 12 weeks, apparently quite happy. And in an instant, their lives turned upside down. They were trapped in small metal cages. They went on a very scary car ride. They found themselves in a very strange and confusing place. They were being touched and talked to by loud, scary people. That was mostly my wife. I forgot she was here. It must have been really terrifying for them. But here's the strange thing. Do you know what their reaction was? Literally within moments of being hauled out of these cages, these traps, they were purring and playing and eating and pooping with joy and abandon. And I've always thought that I handle change really well, but I was truly humbled by these kittens, what they were able to do. So here's what I figured out. Tomorrow really holds no guarantees for any of us. So when the skies darken or the bottom seems to fall out in your life, I want you to remember those kittens. No matter how bad things seem, find the fun despite whatever your fear is at that moment. Savor the simple joys of good food and close family. And at the very least, on the worst possible day, you can always just poop with abandon, and things will work their way out. I wish I had a better closing line than that, but I really don't. The lesson is, in the worst day, there is a kernel of joy. In the worst day, there is cause to celebrate. And if you get up each day and keep moving forward, the world will improve. And you have the tools and the skills because of the education that you've received, because the people who have taught you and mentored you to do anything. Thank you.
Thank you, Mel. I realize how much I've missed your dulcet tones. I think it's pretty imperative that all future commencement speakers should be historians. And Dr. May will be giving away kittens in the parking lot after the program.
That's right.
All right. You guys ready? Y'all ready? When your program is called, will the candidates for that degree please stand and remain standing? Candidates for the Bachelor of Technical and Applied Studies. Candidate for the Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Candidate for the Bachelor of Science in Respiratory Care. Candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management. Candidates for the Bachelor of Business Administration in Business Management. Candidate for the Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Candidate for the Bachelor of Arts in English. Candidate for the Bachelor of Arts in Criminology and Justice Studies. Candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Communications Studies. Candidate for the Associate of Applied Science in Viticulture. Candidates for the Associate of Applied Science in Respiratory Therapy Technology. Candidates for the Associate of Applied Science in Physical Therapist Assistant Technology. Candidates for the Associate of Occupational Therapy Assistant Technology. Candidates for the Associate of Applied Science in Nursing. Candidates for the Associate of Applied Science in Human Services Technology. Candidate for the Associate of Applied Business in Information Technology for Administrative Professionals. Candidates for the Associate of Applied Business in Business Management Technology. Candidate for the Associate of Arts. Dean Stalker, on behalf of the faculty of the Ashtabula campus at Kent State University and representing the faculty of the Kent campus, I am pleased to certify the candidates for the associate and bachelor's degrees in their respective programs. These candidates have satisfied all the requirements for the listed degrees as determined by their academic departments.
Under the laws of the state of Ohio and by designation from the Kent State University Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree for which you have been certified, admitting you to all the rights and privileges which throughout the world pertain to those degrees. As your name is read by Assistant Dean Deemer, please come forward to receive your diploma.
The first degree that we will present tonight is being awarded posthumously to the family of Samantha Locker. Samantha was a student in our nursing program, and she died unexpectedly this past July. Her classmates described Samantha as kind-hearted and always smiling. The nursing faculty saw tremendous growth and determination in Samantha as a student. She was recognized for her compassion, for her patients she cared for, and always supporting her fellow students. Becoming a nurse was her passion. At this time, I want to recognize, remember, and celebrate Samantha's academic success and passion for nursing. I'd like to ask Samantha's family to come forward now to receive her diploma and nursing pin. Thank you. Presenting the degree for the Associate of Arts is Dean Susan Stalker. Lorraine Cordes. Presenting the degree for the Associate of Applied Business in Business Management Technology is Assistant Professor Darrell Uppel. Cassandra Dunn. Jason Yager. Presenting the degree for the Associate of Applied Business in Information Technology for Administrative Professionals is Lecturer Chris Burnworth. Rebecca Olmstead. Presenting the degree for the Associate of Applied Science in Human Services Technology is Associate Professor Joan Steidel. Guinevere Copeland. Shannon Rufo. Harry Wells II. And Viola Wilson. Presenting the degree for the Associate of Applied Science in Nursing is Dr. Julie Sanita. Mariah Beria. Jordan Bevins. Angela Byler. Mia Crawford. Jennifer Fitzpatrick. Brittany Graff. Caitlin Grossman. Trista Harris with distinction. Danielle Kuvchek. Kimberly Legg. Joanna Moore with distinction. Monica Todd. Patricia Todd. Jamie Tomey. Megan Wright. Sarah Yeary. Rachel Yillett. Caitlin Young. Presenting the degree for the Associate of Applied Science in Occupational Therapy Assistant Technology is Program Director Julie Maribel. Cassandra Barron with distinction. Jamie Brady. Lauren Brazzi. Brianna Elliott. Meg Farrell. Angelina Finlaw with distinction. Cassidy Hall. Christina Haymeyer. Destiny Hill. Daniel Kraus. Kelly Lewis. Noemi Maldonado with distinction. Melanie Pattison with distinction. Jacqueline Profera with distinction. Kayla Sheets. Abigail Wyrick. Abigail also earned an Associate of Arts degree. Lorinda Yankee. Presenting the degree for the Associate of Applied Science and Physical Therapist Assistant Technology is Program Director Tiffany Kiphart. Jeremiah Allen with distinction. Abigail Batoki. Valerie Cole with distinction. Cassidy DeFranco. With distinction. Kenneth Drummond. Mary Fesco with distinction. Carolyn Gombert. Maxwell Hackman with distinction. Logan Leichman with distinction. Ryan Minista. Anthony Munda. Cassandra Serdola with distinction. Megan Sacco. Catherine Tanner with distinction. Tracy Vorsick with distinction. Kyle Warner. Aaron Wheatley. Presenting the degree for the Associate of Applied Science in Respiratory Therapy Technology is Program Director Yvonne George. Dawn Fischel. Cabrina Hala. McKenna Hudson. Kathleen Johnson. Haley Novak. Amber Prince. Lindsay Wheeler. Reed Zwacky. Presenting the degree for the Associate of Applied Science in Viticulture is Lecturer Ed Trebitz. Laura Witherow. The Bachelor's of Arts in Communication. David Stouffer, magna cum laude. Matthew Wunsch. Presenting the degree for the Bachelor's of Arts in Criminology and Justice Studies is Associate Professor Marna Drum. Leanne Banyas. Kayla Jones. Ashley Millard. Pamela Rich Creek. Presenting the degree for the Bachelor's of Arts in English is Associate Professor Dr. Deborah Bice. Jordan Rimpola. Presenting the degree for the Bachelor's of Arts in Psychology is Associate Professor Dr. Brian Jones. Christopher Konechko, cum laude. The Bachelor of Business Administration and Business Management. Allison Cato. Lindsay Sandella, cum laude. Danielle Williams. Presenting the degree for the Bachelor's of Science in Hospitality Management is Dr. Scott Tribuzzi. Kaylee Madden. Jordan Manning. Brooke Mihalik. Leonard Norwood. Bachelor's of Science in Respiratory Care. Courtney Labig. The Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. Stephanie Dalen. Bachelor of Technical and Applied Studies, Mark Hederstrom. Dustin Cosina. Gino Rosati. And Dylan Ross.
Congratulations to all of you. And now, I'd like to introduce Meg May. Meg is the president-elect of the Kent State University Alumni Association. Meg?
Thank you, Dean Stocker. On behalf of the Kent State University Alumni Association, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to a very special group. Today, you will join more than 240,000 Kent State graduates who hold degrees, including Mel and me, who between us hold 7 Kent State degrees, both starting with associate's degrees from a regional campus. Thank you very much. And I'm sure many of you in this room as well. You're joining a proud tradition of successful Kent State University graduates. So congratulations and welcome to the family. We're all here tonight to celebrate the accomplishments of the graduates. Your hard work and dedication to continuing your education has prepared you not just for a job or another step in your career, but for a journey of lifelong learning. Your education does not end today. It's only beginning. As you leave here and set out to face new challenges in the days, weeks, and years to come, remember that you are never alone. The Kent State University Alumni Association is here to provide support and assistance. Whether you're searching for a mentor to help guide you into a new career, or you want to get in touch with a former classmate, or at some point you decide that you would like to assist the next generation of Kent State students, your Alumni Association can help. So I encourage you to get involved and stay involved with your campus and with the university. We will always be here to welcome you home and to celebrate your successes. Remember that even though you may have only been a student for the last few years, you will be a Kent State graduate for the rest of your life. So on behalf of the National Alumni Board of Directors and all Kent State graduates who came before you, I give you our best wishes for much success, and I welcome you to the alumni family. Congratulations.
Thanks, Meg. All right, now for the moment you've been waiting for. Graduates, please stand. You may now move your tassels from the right side to the left side of your mortarboards. I want to congratulate you once again for taking advantage of the opportunities that this campus has to offer. I wish you continued success coupled with good health and much happiness. The December commencement is always special with the holiday season in full swing. I want to take this opportunity to wish you all happy holidays and all the best in the new year. We'll continue to keep the Locher family in our thoughts and prayers. Following the ceremony, you are all invited to join us in the Blue Gold Room and the Commons for a reception. Hopefully that snow is still, okay. Okay, but please join us in the Commons and the Blue Gold Room for the reception to honor our graduates, and safe travels home tonight and over the weeks ahead. Congratulations again to our students, and thank you again to our speakers for providing those memorable commencement addresses. It's especially great to have Dr. May back on the campus with us. I want to thank Clay Metcalf for providing the music tonight. Now I'll ask everyone else to please stand and join us in singing our alma mater.
Go.